everybody, this is Diana Bewaros, and instead of doing the TV series on Saturday, we're gonna do it. Actually, instead of doing it at 4 p.m., we're gonna do it today, 11:30 a.m. So today we have Amp, Mahri, Mia again, and thank you for being with us. Although you lost so many loved ones this week, and we are with you. Our hearts and souls are with you. So stay strong. And I know a lot of people are going through the same thing. And my condolences and my best wishes for everybody. And my heart is going to the world as well. So welcome to my show again. Thank you for being with us. And you are going to talk about something else today. Can you please share with the listeners and the people who are watching that what you would like to share with the world today?
Well, thank you again for having me. It's obviously a pleasure to be with you and with everybody who's listening in. Um, and thank you for the condolences. It has been a very difficult time. It's a difficult day today. But I think one of the reasons, and I respect that you asked what I want to go through with this, knowing that there were many losses and there's also the difficulty with my dad being very ill as well. So I appreciate that. But the reason I said let's go ahead is because um, it's good to allow for people to know that, we are human, especially as women and leaders and for the people that do what we have to do. Um, Life and whatever it throws at us are adversities sometimes and they're difficulties and they take a toll, and especially when it's life being lost around you and in front of you and within your family limits, especially. But we have to persevere. And that's what I think I'd like to talk about today because this is where I'm at now. And I know many people in the world today are facing very same issues. Um, and I think it's important for us to know that to stay true to who we are, to know that we still imperfect, even though there's so much of difficulty. That is the point at which I think we should talk about today and start today is to know that we need to pick up. We can pick up. We will pick up no matter what it is we're facing. And we persevere, we grow in our strength, and we become stronger. And therefore, whoever around us also leverages off from their strength. And we can prevail over whatever the difficulties are.
Yeah, absolutely. We can do that. We are strong enough. We have everything what it takes to do it. I know it's very difficult. So many people are dying, but we can do it. We can do it. And I'm absolutely sure that the things are going to go into the right direction and the things are going to change for us. And we're going to learn from this experience. And things happen for a reason. And we need to wake up to the fact that we need to pay close attention to the way we behave, who we are, and bring all the traits, the good traits we carry inside back into the world so we can stop manifesting these things in our lives. And I hope this experience is going to bring the lesson we needed to learn.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And one of the things you need to know is that when you're going through something that's difficult, no matter what it may be, and I'm not going to point out any example because we want everyone that is listening and everyone in the world who's having a difficulty to know that we do understand that their difficulty is their own. So no one can minimize it and no one can maximize it. It is yours, and you know the full potential of how it's draining you or how it's affecting you or what it's doing to you and what you're feeling about it. Um, the important part is that who you are, no matter what it is you're facing, you need to ask yourself a couple of things. And when you're answering these questions, you have to be very honest with yourself because when you are honest with you and you answer the things to give yourself, then you know how to heal yourself properly and peacefully. And one of the questions that you can ask yourself is, what is happening around me? And don't, and I say this in the most respectable way, but don't over dramatize what is happening. Be real about what is happening. Because when you are real about what's happening around you, then your reaction is real enough to take. When you exaggerate what's happening around you, then your reaction is exaggerated also. So, and that makes your emotions become an exaggerated one. You don't need excess stress, excess anxiety. You need to cope as best as you can. And for you to cope in the best way for you as who you are, you need to understand things about you and how they are for you, for what you are feeling about. So when I say ask yourself what is happening, ask yourself what's happening around you, what is happening to you, how are you feeling, what are those emotions that you are feeling. And one of the key things we need to always understand is that when you are having an emotion, whether it is a sad emotion, an angry one, or even a positive, hopeful one, every emotion is something that stems from, or feeling that you're having is stemming from an emotion, and it's vice versa. But both of those are stemming from an experience. So this is where the question comes in: is what is happening? What has brought about this specific emotion or feeling that you are enduring? And ask yourself, why is it draining you? So one of the things I did speak about before, and I'll reiterate today, is if there is somebody that you have lost, as in who has passed on or is no longer with you in your circle or in your life or on your journey, many of us, for example, would look back and say, "Oh, we've lost so and so, and it's this draining emotion, and I lose this and I've lost that." That terminology is about the loss, and yet you can reframe that without losing the essence of feeling the loss, but rather embracing that emotion of loss. And you can turn it around and reframe it to say, what have I gained? What have I gained from the person who is no longer with me or the people that I don't have in my circle? Um, what have I gained from them? And when I say what have I gained, I'm talking about in your time span that you had with these people. They obviously have been pleasurable, memorable, positive emotions that come forth, positive memories that come forth. And you then have to go back to those, and those are the positives you take back, and they become your gain. So instead of focusing too much on the I lost, the person or the people, let's focus rather on what have I gained from the time I had with them. So just that reframing of what you're perceiving is alone what can help you to cope and learn to understand what you're feeling. So I would like everybody to take a moment to really understand yourself in what I've just said. If it resonates with you, identify these with you, and then grow in the process of how you need to cope, which is the best coping mechanism for you in your life or what you are feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally agree with you. And if a lot of people start reflecting on themselves and start thinking, then things again are going to change because the work starts within. You need to work,
Mhm.
go within and find out what exactly is going on with you and fix it if you don't like something. You have to be aware of your actions. You have to be aware of your words. You have to be aware of everything, who you are as a person, how you perceive the world, how you interact every day with people. It's really important. It's really important. So uh, you can change yourself at the same time help others do the same thing. It's like a teamwork all over the world. If people start doing the job, then things are gonna change. But you need to be willing to find out that to find the things that are not serving your best interest and not serving the best interest to the people who are around you. You have to be so aware of yourself because most people don't see issue with their actions, with their words, with everything that they do on a daily basis. And this, again, is attracting the things that you don't want, and so is everybody else who is around you.
The key is that awareness that we're speaking about, and the next key that attaches itself to your awareness is being honest with your awareness. So, the whole idea that we need to also try and understand about ourselves and who we are is part of who we were as growing up in your society that you live in or in your culture or whatever it may be. Many of us grow up and many of us develop this idea that we have standards that we have to live by, but those standards are created from outside who you are. And sometimes as you grow to develop yourself even further, you decide that some standards of who you'd like to be and your lifestyle and the stuff that you would like kind of go against the standards that other people have placed before you for your life. And if you are not aware that those standards set by other people are not good for you because of certain reasons, then you're not going to be able to learn how to stand up for what standards are good for you to allow for those people to let you be who you need to be. So many women, for example, find themselves stuck in that specific situation or role because you have this ingrained mindset of, as a woman, this is how I need to be, I can't be in any other way. And all of a sudden, you decide to become a little bit inspired, you want to grow yourself and find out new things about you, but you become scared internally because your fear is this is going to become a kind of a new you because you're becoming aware of new things about yourself, and you fear the perception that is going to be given to other people outside of you about what will they think about this new you. And the whole key of the whole thing is if you are aware that these are changes I need to make, I need to empower myself, or I need to learn this skill, or I need to develop certain things about myself, or I need to erase certain habits that I have, or I need to distance myself from certain people because they bring negative energy to me. Once you become aware of these things, if you're aware enough to know that these are negative for you, why you have to change things, why you want to develop yourself, why you want to grow, why you want to empower you, and if you see that development of you in a positive way is actually beneficial for you as a person, you will automatically be aware that that empowerment and growth of you as a self is also beneficial for those around you. So nobody around you is going to perceive that as being something that is disrespectful or wrong for them. They're going to rather see it as something positive for them because you becoming a better version, more authentic person, and you being true to you and your purpose in your journey is beneficial to those around you and those you love as well. So how you perceive your awareness and your honesty with yourself is also crucial when it comes to how others are going to perceive you. Because also remember, and I teach this to many, many, many people all the time, there's only so much that you can control about what's outside of you. I can't control, I always say this, I can't control what other people say, what other people think, their perceptions, how they're going to feel, how they're going to think about what I wear, etc., etc., etc. I need to be at peace with my choices. I need to be at peace with who I am in my growth, in my development, because that is what I can control. Take control of what you can work with, what you can grow with, what you can develop with, because that is what is worthy of your time and your energy. What you can become aware of to make changes to be the benefit of you is what's within your control. But what is beyond your control and something you really can't even try to manifest control over, don't give it energy because then you're negating energy back to yourself. And it's very, very important that you identify these awareness in the honesty that I'm talking about with yourself if you want to grow you. And that growth in you is going to be good for you if you face any difficulty. But remember, right now the world is facing difficulty. Every single person, I think, in the globe has got something about them. Whether you're sitting in a massive corporate office, whether you're somebody who's within your home, no matter what your job is, your status is, no matter what it is, I think everyone has felt some form of adversity. And if you are aware of the adversity, you're aware of your emotions, you're aware of yourself, But be honest about that awareness and what you are feeling and embracing, then the coping mechanisms will help you get to that with clearer vision as to what the results need to be. So that awareness and honesty for you is very, very key for you to be able to really become a better version of you and deal with life and circumstances. One of the key things we must always know is the one constant in life, and I think we know this now because of the pandemic, because of all the losses we've had. The one constant in life is always going to be change. It's ironic, yes, because change is constant, but the constant in life is always a change. And you need to be able to know you well enough to be able to adapt to whatever those changes need to be as life unfolds for you.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm totally agree. The thing is, people don't put work to think for themselves. They're not thinking why they're here, what is their purpose. They don't want to educate themselves and understand that other people are different than them. They pressure people who are different. They are not using understanding, they're not using love. They don't try to connect with people in the right way by accepting them for who they are, and they
Mm.
allow other people to have influence on them. And this is the kind of a life you are creating for yourself without even realizing it, that you are basically functioning on autopilot. You're not being your true self. You're always negative. You're always angry. You always experience anxiety just because you deep inside know that what you're doing is wrong. Wrong for
Mm.
you and wrong for the people who are around you. And this creates a huge chain of people who are doing the same thing. And this kind of a crowd is proliferating, and it's making your life miserable as well as other people, and creates this huge cloud of negativity without even you realizing that. At the same time, attracting really bad things in your life and the life of other people who are surrounding you. And you are not basically the victim of the circumstance around you. You are a victim of your own actions, and you're a
Yes.
victim of the life you are created for yourself. This is really important, and I know a lot of people are having difficult time understanding, but if they start to shift this kind of thinking, if they start educating themselves and listening to themselves, then things are going to be completely different. So now is the time to do that. Now is the most important time of the life of the humanity. And right now we need to pass this test. And if we are stubborn and if we continue to stay on this hamster wheel, then things are not going to go in the desirable way like we want them to go. It's really important. We are very, very inclined to blame all the outside circumstances without allowing ourselves to think about if we are not basically the reason for everything that is happening in our life and outside of us.
It is very important for us to always understand there's, in finding your purpose and living your journey of your life. Um, Once you identify specific aspects about you and you create this awareness of you and you become empowered and you become honest with who you are, you envelop certain skills and you develop your character, etc., etc. The one key aspect is you need to identify why are you doing it. If your answer is because of something outside of you, then you're doing it for the wrong reason. If you are doing it for you because it's for the betterment of you and the growth of you, then it's for the right reason. When that is the case, then you are able to actually take control of whatever your circumstance is. And you start to see things more clearly so that you are not a victim of the circumstance anymore. The whole idea is that if we have to look at COVID, for example, COVID-19 hit us with a bang, and it became the sphere of an unknown. The fear of an unknown just kept compounding and compounding the first wave and the second wave and the third wave going on, and now the fourth wave coming in. So it's just compounding itself continuously. But what is the one thing that has been the constant? Is the change. What is the change? Is the change of the mindset? Is the change of what's happening around you? Is the change of the negative that you are feeling? Is the change of the positive that are happening? What is it that you can see that has happened with you that requires change of you right now? You have to ask yourself to go back and do a small analysis of you and your life, whatever your life may be. We're not specifically talking to, a big role player. We're talking to everybody right now. Ask yourself and do this small analysis for you. Go back to pre-COVID 19. Pre-COVID 19, which is just before it hit you in your life. You as you were then. And then come to your present version, which is within COVID 19. And do a small analysis of where you're at now. Between then, pre-COVID 19, and this very moment that you are listening to me, how many things have developed within you for the positive, and how many things within you have developed for negative? And only you can answer these things honestly enough to know how did it really affect you. You can listen to multi talks about COVID-19, the difficulties people are facing, and yes, there are multiple programs even on this. But unless you sit and do this kind of analysis for you specifically for yourself, whatever you're hearing other people talk about regarding their experiences, their knowledge base, is what becomes yours. When you take the time to sit and do this analysis for you yourself and answer pre-COVID 19 versus current COVID 19, me, my life, what are my changes, what has happened within me, you will be able to identify specific pros and cons about you and how you've reacted, how you want change, what you want to see. And then move yourself into an insight mode. And by that I mean you become somebody who wants to know, okay, COVID 19 is going to continue. So there's going to be more changes to come. If I do this analysis of pre-COVID 19 versus current, and I find specifics about me now, I will be able to learn for myself that if it's going to be still different changes that's going to come along, I don't know what those changes are. We don't know what's going to happen, but we do know that there's still us. We are here. I still am here today. You are still there today. Each one of us still with our purpose to be able to be there for each other as humanity in our togetherness. And for the time that we have left, we don't know what this time is. For that time that we have, whatever's going to come, whatever the change is going to be, it will better equip you to understand yourself with this first analysis you're doing, so that whatever change comes after this, post COVID 19, which is after everything, you can sit back by God's way of grace and you can say, I survived because I did this for myself, and this is how I built and developed others around me. You're not going to be able to make a difference in your country, your community, or your society, or even in your nation, if you're not going to make a difference for yourself first. And that is the key. That is the key. We have got to stop taking in extra information that the stuff we don't need. Don't take in the extra emotions that you don't need. Don't take in the extra standards everybody else has put for you that you don't need. Analyze things for what works for you, because it's your journey, it is your purpose. And when you identify with you, then you can grow you, and that growth becomes what other people will catalyst of. Respond to your positiveness, and that's what we need right now. As humanity and everyone in the world, we need each other. And this is why I even applaud you for having this platform, because it's one of the means in which we can get to other people around the globe and serve humanity in some way by offering solutions, by offering points on which they can ponder. It's not only about you being able to give money or give anything like that. We need to be able to give off what we have in whatever way that can help each other to grow and get past the situations we're all in. Because we need to understand and remember, we're given the gift of time right now. And if there's one thing COVID-19 has taught us, or I know it taught me personally, especially at this moment, is that the time that you are given in this lifetime is your gift. It is an absolute gift given unto you by your Creator. What you choose to do, your choices, and the ability you have as humanity to make choices is your second gift. So when you marry the both gifts, then it's basically this. The gift is what choices do you make? What do you choose to do with the time that you have? So if you have time, what are you doing to give off from the gift of time via your gift of choice to make a positive impact on somebody else around you, as well as yourself in the process? These are things to really ponder, and this is how we can help each other as humanity. And as a leader, for example, in my right, I want to do this, and I applaud you for doing it as a leader in your right, so we can lead and make some kind of a positive difference to somebody's life out there.
Absolutely. I'm totally agree. We as leaders, we can just express ourselves, tell what exactly we're thinking, but we cannot make people think. We cannot make
Yes.
them change their actions. And from my observations, as soon as the COVID is, uh, people are outside enjoying their life and everything else, people are all the same on the same hamster wheel and they start doing the same thing, which is surprised me a lot.
Mm.
And it comes to the government also, and I'm not gonna hide it. They're actually pushing things in the wrong direction. They are not trying to help. They're not trying to do anything different than before. And on the contrary, they continue to do worse and worse things, expecting the final outcome to be completely different. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen, and we all know this is not gonna change. And the people need to understand that message very well to get to them. Don't ask why me and why is this happening. Look in the mirror and you will get all the answers you're looking for. And being stubborn, fighting against the nature, because COVID basically is way to make us open our eyes and see exactly what we have been doing till now and change direction, not a way to go back to the same old ways and even go start in the worst direction again and continue to do even the worst things. It's so important because let's face it, if you're a government agent or CIA or FBI, wherever you are, you're a human in the end and you have family at home. This is your job. And if you continue to do the wrong thing, hurt people, or do something that you don't want anybody to do to you, you're basically attracting this bad energy, not only for you, you're attracting it for the whole world. And it doesn't matter also how much money you have in the bank, what kind of a celebrity you are. At the end, you're a human as well. And you, COVID should have teach you that COVID is for everybody, doesn't discriminate, and don't care how much money you have, who you are. And if this message we didn't get it till now, I don't know exactly when we are going to get this message. This homelessness, these hungry people on the street, this poverty is basically something that we are fully capable of taking care of. At the same time, attracting the good things we all want. What a human being wants a good life, wants to have their basic need met, and wants to have a way to take care for themselves without being pressured, without working 3 or 4 jobs. It's so important for this to be understood. And again, if you don't understand it right now, here it is the result. Things are escalating in the undesirable direction. It's so simple. God is not gonna come and help us. Jesus is not gonna come and help us. Allah is not gonna come and help us. These masters help us whenever we help ourselves, because they live in
Exactly.
us and they're waiting. Yeah. And if you're going to use this and wait for the miracle to happen, like with the magic wand, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So what you actually put outside, that's what you're going to get back. Simple as it
So
is.
absolutely. The one thing we need to know is that each one of us has a role to play in the change that we need to make if we want to see. So one of the basic hashtags I always use, and a lot of us use my kids, for example, is be the change. And I say that specifically because this is me, and I know it works because if I want something different, I be the difference. I act the difference. I become that difference. And when I feel that positiveness in the difference, then that becomes the catalyst for the next one. So right now, if you are in a country where you're governed with certain structures, etc., that you are not happy with or that are not working with you, if you're working for somebody and you're in an environment where your leadership is not doing what they're supposed to for you, again, this is outside of you. What are you doing to make the change? If you want the change, what are your measures that you're taking to be the change? Now, one of the key factors is to stop playing victim to yourself. Stop being unreal about what is real. Things are what they are right now. They cannot be sugarcoated for you. You need information. You need knowledge. You need education. Every single person around in the world right now, as humanity, has got basic human rights to education, to good health, to basic nutrition, to water, to electricity, etc. The list goes on. We have those basic needs, and those are basic human rights. You need to also have your knowledge to grow yourself to make sure your rights are met, your human needs are met. Mm, when we talk of the pandemic, yes, we talk a lot of this pandemic of the virus, but there's something I say all the time as well. We have four pandemics in the world, in South Africa, in the world. We have the pandemic of this virus. Yes, that's all over. But we have three others: the pandemic of poverty, the pandemic of hunger, and the pandemic of mental health issues. Those three, for me, are also fundamental pandemics because they're becoming neglected. Poverty is taken over, hunger is taken over, mental health issues are becoming rife continuously, and yet they're not being tended and dealt with because all focus is on pandemic number one. The pandemic number one is creating pandemic two, three, and four. We need to also address two, three, and four so that we can maybe curb number one somehow. Instead of making number one become the controlling factor so that number two, three, and four become worse. And us as humanity can make the change because we can be the change. You have a neighbor. Doesn't matter the faith, color, creed, nation, doesn't matter. You have a neighbor. It starts with you. If you have a belief system and a religious or faith, surely your faith teaches you there is oneness in mankind. Look out for humanity. Be the humanitarian. Give and love and be. Because this is how we lead to become humankind. So when we look out for each other, look for your neighbor. If you in your home or if your little community right now, for example, is having difficulties with meals, you in your home have got extra bread, for example, and you need a little bit of milk. Your neighbor has extra milk but doesn't have enough bread. Give a little bit of barter. The world started off with these kind of remedies back then. Come back to that right now. It can work. Exchange what is needed between you to make it other feel ease for the time that you are going through the difficulties. It can happen if we start on the basics. Start within your home. Start with your neighbor. Don't decide that you're waiting for somebody else to do it only for you. It can happen for you if you start to try for yourself. Yes, I fully understand because I do this on a daily basis in terms of humanitarian aid, the feeding, the mental health issues and campaign victims. I do this all the time. So I know full well how difficult it is. And somebody listening to me might say to me, well, Ambassador, it's very easy for you to sit there and say, I can reach out to my neighbor, and my neighbor also doesn't have. I fully understand that. But even when you don't have, you have you still. You might not have the luxury, you might not have something important, but you still have needs. And if you are breathing, for example, right now without an oxygen tank, that is something to still be grateful for. So, in your face of adversity, no matter what it is, look into the humanitarian inside you and be grateful for you being you. No matter what your religion, your faith, your creed, look at yourself first as a humankind versus your neighbor as a humankind, and then you realize we're actually all one. And in our togetherness, we can get through a lot. But we need to understand that we can't expect change from others for the change we want. It starts with who we are, what we need, what changes are best for us and our little environment first. Before we go to take care of pandemic 2, 3, and 4, because those right now are crucial for us to fight pandemic number 1.
Absolutely. Very true. If we honor ourselves, who we are, and we work on ourselves and mind our own business, then other people are going to start doing the same thing. And we're going to be an example for them. It's so important to understand that. But at the end, you cannot change people. You cannot make them do anything they don't want to do. It's so important. And from what I'm stumbling upon, only people who had some kind of a trauma in their life, something happened in their life, these are the ones who are shifting their mind and their thinking into the right direction. These are the ones who are acquiring these human traits we are born with. These are the people who start thinking about these things. People who have never had this experience, this catastrophic experience, they don't bother thinking about all of these things, which is a huge tragedy. Huge tragedy. And we need to, again, no matter what, start thinking first about our actions again and who we are, and we are doing the things that makes us, and working on ourselves and following our path instead of looking in somebody else's yard. It's so important. It's so
The key,
important.
the key is to lead by example. And I say that again, you lead by example because we have leaders, we have them, we have people who lead in our societies and our communities, yes. But in your life, you are a leader. In your
Yeah,
home, you are a leader. With your actions, you are the leader. So you cannot blame and you cannot want to blame others for you not leading you properly right now. If you have faith and faith in you growing yourself, then that faith needs to be enough for you to be the best leader for you in your life because you need to. And if, for example, I know one of the things I do is I tend to lead by example purely because firstly, there's people around me that look up for that, yes, but it's because I know that at some point I too have a demise that's awaiting. And when I am no longer here, what legacy have I left? What am I leaving behind for people? Are they going to think of me and think, "Oh, they must rather think of me to know that my legacy lives on because of the positive change I've made. Somebody is going to continue the legacy I'm leaving of making sure somebody is here. Somebody is going to have help or get a help done for them, etc., etc., etc. What are we doing to make the change last? Remember that it starts with you. Lots of my changes started with me, my life experiences, the difficulties I endured, whether it was health, whether it was psychological, whatever it was. There were difficulties. Those difficulties became my milestones. I reframed those difficulties to become the best of me because I learned my lessons through them. And it goes to back to what we said when we started today's program. It's about you and what are the lessons you're taking from what you are enduring right now. If your lesson is that it becomes so negative that you hate and that you become angry at outside because this and this and this and you want to blame, that's not going to help you grow. That's not going to help you grow. And you might want to sit here and say, well, I'm justified to feel like this, etc. Yes, but remember, are you being fair to yourself with the negative justifications you keep giving yourself? How are you going to heal from that if you can't find the negativity? Embrace that, yes, this is a difficult time. Embrace that, yes, it is unfair. Embrace that it has made you angry for the moment. But take those negatives after you've embraced them and leave them aside and reframe the negative now and say, okay, I felt that, that happened, so and so said that, so and so did that, it hurt me. How do I move on? Because that's what you have to do ultimately. You have got to move beyond this point. It's when you stay stuck in that point that the problems start to happen with you. You have got to move away from there. But I'm not saying, remember, I am not saying ignore those emotions. I'm saying embrace the negative emotions. Put them in one and say, I've embraced I need to move from that now because I can't see in the negative sense. I have to move away because I need to go on with my journey. My journey needs me to lead it. I need to lead with positive goals. I need to lead because I want a positive result. It starts within. And what lessons are you giving yourself from leaving that? When you are feeling the anger, what is the lesson you're taking? When you are placing the emotion of that guilt or whatever it is that you're feeling inside there, what are you taking away from there? What lesson is it so that you change it to the betterment of you? These require you to be very aware to analyze you in your life right now. Because ultimately the change starts with each one of us. And it is in that togetherness that we can stand and build right now. And that is so important for us. But we have got to know that the role each one of us plays is crucial. Do not focus so much on the role the next person is playing for you. Because they too have got their role up until a specific. We don't know when that point ends. So focus on you. Focus on you. What am I bringing forth? What am I doing? Instead of focusing on what are they not doing for me or how they have done this for me. No, let's focus on let's make the changes for us. Embrace the negatives and reframe them to become positives to make betterment for you in your life so that your leadership for you becomes crucial for you and your unit that you run.
Absolutely. I'm totally agree. And talking about behavior and attacking people and doing stuff like this, well, I want to talk about women who lost their lives during the COVID-19 because of domestic violence, because they were supposed to stay with somebody at home. And this is something that needs to be addressed because women's life matters. And this was, again, a test for us to see how we are going to deal with it. Are we going to do something about it? Or again, we're going to witness and we're going to basically consider a collateral damage during the COVID-19 as women and children have been dying. And I think we need to concentrate on this subject also. This is something we need to fix besides poverty, besides all of the other things that were going on before COVID-19. And COVID-19 happened because the things couldn't continue the way they were. We needed this lesson. And if we continue to ignore other people, to ignore their suffering, because nobody is immune, let's face it, with the way the life is right now, with losing jobs, with poverty, people are trying their best. We cannot pressure them. We cannot ask something from them. They are not able to give it to us. And that's what I'm observing basically from the things that are happening here in Los Angeles and all over America. We cannot ask them to do something that it's not in their power. And this here it comes again that we as a humans, we need to come together and work together as a team. when it comes to the banks, when it comes to the government, when it comes to everybody else who is around us. We cannot ask anybody to give us something they're not able to. And we need to work on the women's issues. We need to find a way to fix this. We need to fix the poverty. We need to fix this homelessness. We need to fix all of these things instead of turning blind eye. And until we start working on these things, again, things are not going to go in to right direction, and a lot of people are going to get in this position again, because eventually if you are in a good position right now, if you're able to pay your bills, if you're able to do this and that and have food on your table, uh, tomorrow or a week after that, a month after that, you could be in the same situation. When it comes to the landlords, when it comes to everybody, you cannot push people to the wall and you ask them to do something they're not able to. And I'm observing this, and I honestly cannot comprehend as a human being why people are doing that. Why is the government not involved in this? Why is everybody turning blind eye? What they're expecting to happen at the end? Why they think they're untouchable? This is something that is bothering me so much. And this is part of the test. This is part of the test, and why it's so difficult to understand that things cannot continue like this. And we need to stop and say, hey, we need to turn around and start doing something completely different. Why we are still on the treadmill, I have no idea.
I think it's all about firstly in the mind. Many people don't like to talk about certain topics. There's some topics that become a bit too, it hits the core, and most of people don't like topics that hit the core because then it's about facing what is actually real. And that's one of the key aspects we talked about today, is you have to be aware of what is real because that's where the change is required. So when we have to talk about gender-based violence, when we have to talk about domestic violence, when we have to talk about child trafficking, when we have to talk about drug abuse, when we have to talk about what is actually affecting households and people with the compounded because of COVID-19, it is something that some people don't want us to talk about because it hits home and it hits a nerve. Nobody likes it hitting the nerve. And I promise you, if we have to go into the actual discussion about GBV and domestic violence, etc., we'll probably go into it next week. So, but we can definitely do a whole segment on just that issue to bring, to throw our women and our children out there. If they're in the situation, then this is what you do in your mind. These are your avenues of flexibility. But I just want to say that I do a lot of work in that field, and I do belong to some fantastic platforms here in South Africa as well, and there are one or two that are global regarding LGBT and domestic violence, etc. And we did note, of course, and we rightfully so, that when COVID-19 hit, especially with all the lockdowns throughout the world, the numbers just escalated. It didn't even matter. The calls that were coming in daily to police to come to please aid, and yet it was not possible because of lockdown and the restrictions, etc., etc. All of this compounded many different facets, and especially for the children of those homes. So a hypothetical example would be that, we would, as who we are, the safety houses that we have put up, etc., we would get the call out to say so and so in this, and we go there, move the lady, and we remove the children. This is in no way men are not abused. Please don't misunderstand, because I do know that we do have males in the world who are also abused. But this is the example I'm using in terms of where the women is the victim. So we would go in and we'd say we'd remove the women, we'd remove the children if there were any, and we'd take them right to the safety house. And we obviously get the police involved, and they would take whoever is the abuser or whatever, and we engage with these women to help them with the procedure legally, and then we get, the psychologists involved or whoever to try and help them in their coping strategy, and then you leave them because you give them the idea of you're in the safety house. It's going to be a few days. People will come back and forth. This is where they're going to be. The kids are going to be fed for that time, etc., etc. And Let's just say you go back 2 days later and you check how is mom doing, how's her procedure going, meeting with everybody, how's the kids going. While you're also making sure that the legal part of the whole process is going smoother for her as well. Um, and you go back there and you find that you get told that things have left with the children. And where is she? She's gone back to the home. So very often this is exactly what happens. These women go back, the children go back, and then the system, the legal part of it just falls away because of the going back. And one of the things that triggered with me is we focus a lot on the abuser versus the victim. And so one of the programs I'm developing right now is to actually look at what about the abuser. And the reason for that program being developed with me right now is because of a couple of children that were part of a domestic violence scene, and once asked the one thing, for example, and this was being done multiplied a couple of times post that because I wanted to see if all these children were of the same mindset, and they were. I asked the children, why did you tell mom to go back? Because these children witnessed these acts of violence from the person. And you know what the answer was? That's my dad. Or that's who I love. That's somebody that looks after me. And you ask the woman, why did you go back? And she's like, well, the kids can't stay without him. He's good for them. And well, if I'm not going to be with him, if he's going to provide for me, where's going to be our home? Where will the kids not go after the safety? And then you realize, just hold on. Yes, there's an abuser and there's a victim, but we do have the ones in front of you who are saying that we've seen more than an abuser and a victim. We've seen our unit. Is it really necessary to build up this unit? Can we not somehow put programs in place to build the unit to become better, to get into the mind maybe of the abuser and help him to develop or her to develop themselves and help the victim to adjust and cope so that that unit remains? This is not hypothetical, it's not in my program. But I am saying we need to be able to bring changes that build, not break our people and our communities. Some do require us to pull people apart, pull things apart, because when you bring it apart is when you see things clearly. But in other instances, we need to bring together because that's when it becomes whole. So a lot depends on what the key factors are, what are we looking for, and we need to build our victims, our children. And it doesn't have to start when the violence it actually needs to start by education. If we take the time to educate our children to know what is domestic violence, what is GBV, what is child trafficking, what is it that you need to be aware of and looking for, what are these signs, and teach our children the art of respect for each other. That it's not good to be able to lift your hand to hit each other. It's not good to raise your voice. It's not good for you to be in these specific mannerisms because these are not respectable for each other and you're not respecting individuality. We start to teach these within our school environments, within our family units, within our community youth development programs. Develop these as strategies for our children and we take them home. And we build these units and we build our people and we build the mindsets of the people. So yes, GBV is a huge, huge issue. Domestic violence is a huge issue. And children's issues are also massive. We all need attention. We as leaders have got to put specific protocols, programs in place to work. Um, and if we ever have to do anything domestic violence or GBV program, one of the things I think we should also touch on is the fact that some of the justice systems don't really offer the peace for a victim, because the system requires a replay and a continuous replay of events. So people just don't want that emotional trauma continuously to have to keep reliving, reinstating. How does that even help to cope going forward? So there's a lot of factors that we can look at to try and re-strategize programs and protocols so that we can build out of these violence and these extremes that people are facing. And rather, let's focus on pulling together programs that work so that if you are somebody who's prone to being violent, that we have programs that can help you. We identify you. If you are a victim of circumstance regarding violence, then we have programs that can help you. It's not where we want to throw anyone in society. We need to build society. We need to build humanity because we have children. Now, children of today are, we always focus on children of today are leaders of tomorrow. We have to set proper foundation for them because the pathway for them, they will develop. But how do we help them on developing their pathway? And that's through education. This is why I'm saying when it comes to topics as important as these, we need to touch on them. And children today, as the youngest of ages, we now love technology. A 2-year-old will be able to pick up a device and be able to tell you what's what. This is how the world. So you are able to today have discussions about topics that are pertinent to children to understand how to be in today's society. So it starts with education. Education, even for adults, this is A, B, and C. And we can do it. We really can really change it. So very, very key topics. I definitely agree that need a lot more attention and discussion to see differences to be made.
Yeah, that's very true. It's really important that children, how we raise our children, because children who see stuff like this in their family, they usually repeat the same pattern in their family, in their own family, and it's going and going and going. And it's these children are traumatized. Most of them turn into narcissists because
Mhm.
their feelings have been discarded during these fights they were witnessing in the family, and it kind of helps for this cycle to continue. And the justice system, from what I found out, everything comes to money. That's why they usually give the children to the narcissist, and most of the children get killed because the thing they want is money. And why, when we detach ourselves from this desire to acquire wealth based on some people's traumatic experience, people's tragedy, and again it comes to improving ourselves, working on ourselves, and thinking that what we are doing is wrong. We are basically fueling these divorces, these child and all of these things. We are doing the wrong thing. And again, now is the time to shift this and to show, hey, we care about the people, about the humanity, and that's why we want to make a difference. That's why we're gonna work on it and make sure that the justice system is something that we should trust and we should work on, and we should definitely get justice when we walk into the courtroom. It's really important, and I'm sure it's not only here, it's all over the world. And until we sugarcoating things, until we love um, the wealth we acquire based on somebody's death or somebody's abuse, then the things are going to continue again to be like on the hamster wheel. And if we don't start working on this, again, we are not going to receive the final outcome all the humanity is looking for. It's so important. It's so important because let's face it, money is not everything.
As you can see with COVID, that's one thing we told us. Money is not everything. We have had people that were really, really wealthy people who at one point couldn't get a bed in any hospital because there were no oxygen tanks available for you, even if you had the money to buy entry. So money is something, remember, that is needed. Yes, it's very needed. But your money can't make you and break others in a person. And at some point, we need to always understand that the universe is almost like a circle. And many
Yeah.
people say this, and I do. The universe is that way. What you will do will come back. The energy you give off will revert. You need to always understand that if you are somebody who plays a mind game with others because you want to see a specific benefit for yourself, then remember that at some point that is going to come back. And you're not going to be able to see it purely because you instilled it. And it's not going to come back to you as a warning. It's going to come
Yeah.
back to you and hit you with a bang. And then you're going to say, well, why me? Until you realize you actually started the process of making up the stuff about other people. You made stuff up about them, or you made life difficult for them simply because you had your agenda. If this is you and you identify that you are somebody who is this way, you need to learn that you can still be. It doesn't mean that you'd have to sit in a specific emotion. And you know what? It doesn't hurt you. It actually humbles you to be able to acknowledge when you are wrong. It humbles you to acknowledge that I've made this mistake and let me make it better and move on. But you can't be somebody who decides that I will manipulate and I will hurt and I will try to destroy because of self-gain. And then because of even a pride issue, you're not prepared to go back and say, well, okay, you know what, that was my mistake, let's make peace or whatever the case may be. Um, but remember that the universe is around and it becomes a spiral if you keep doing what you're doing. And spiral, what happens with the spiral? At some point, it spirals into itself. And you don't need that because then you create your own whirlwind of a life for you. And you need to understand, is this what you want? When you have to do your self-analysis, which we talked about today, and you being aware of you, are you seeing yourself as somebody who does that? Are you somebody who actually manipulates A, B, and C because you want to see a specific outcome because it suits you for whatever the reason is? Nothing is what happens in the world. So we need to actually really, really take cognizance of what we do, how we do it, and realize that at some point you are going to have to be responsible, take accountability for your own actions, even for your thoughts, because your actions come from your thought process. And as a Muslim woman, the one thing I know for me is the belief that even if something doesn't come out through my mouth, it's not verbal. Even if it's just in my head, the point is, if it is a thought, my Almighty Creator already knows what my thought is. He is not judging me only on my action, but He's judged my thought, my intention behind doing something. If I am doing multiple good deeds for the day, or I am somebody who has this evil intent about why I'm doing the good stuff, He knows my intention before He even knows what my action is. So He's not going to judge my good action. He's going to judge my evil intention. What do I
Absolutely.
prefer? So
Yeah.
we need to find ourselves in honest action. What are we doing? How are we living? What are the changes we need to make to a better life for us and for the other world? It's very, very important.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally agree with you. I'm telling people constantly, and again, I cannot make people think. I
Mhm.
cannot do that as much as I want to. I just cannot do it. And until they understand that, like you said, the universe is going to continue to be. We are going to be in this cycle, and we're gonna go in a circle until we wake up and change the direction. Then we're gonna be out of this circle. It's so
Yes,
important. Nothing you put outside, it's not gonna don't think it's not gonna come back to you. Make sure it's a positive thought, positive action towards other people, um, because you what you doing and what you thinking, what you said, it's really important for yourself and other people around you. And
It is absolutely important, especially
yeah,
if you want to
yeah,
set a positive outcome.
absolutely, absolutely. And I hope this is going to open some eyes, the conversation we had today, and it's gonna make some difference, because that's why I'm doing this, what I'm doing. I'm trying
Yes.
desperately to send this message with all my heart and all your heart, to make sure that this tragedy is behind us, and all of the things that are escalating at the moment. I don't know how is the situation in Africa, but here people are dying in huge numbers, and children. And this is a result from our actions, our thoughts, and what we continue to do.
It is,
And
and we do have escalating numbers here in Africa, in South Africa, and we can just pray that, I think at some point God will send us healing. We know this. The process, and until it does happen, we need the strength, and the strength is within each of us. But I'd like to also say that through this platform, for example, I believe you and I, as the leaders in the world today, can use this platform to be able to plant the seed. If you want to use the analogy of planting something, we're planting a seed. But the thought that we are giving is to rethink and redesign your thought processes to make a better life for you. We're planting the seed. We can nurture the seed, but it's actually you who has to grow as the flower. So if you look at yourself as the analogy of you being that seed growing into the flower, we're putting it there. We're putting you in the soil. We're doing what we have to do. We're giving you enough sunlight. So do you want to grow and you want to beautify yourself in the sunlight and glow in your glory? Um, Identify you with it. So resonate with the thoughts that we can throw out to you. Think about these things. Do the analysis that we're talking about, because it all is for you and it starts within you.
absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mahreen, for being with us today. It was absolutely amazing to have you again, and I'm gonna have you again and again. And I hope this is going to open eyes, is going to open hearts, and understand that your actions matter, your thoughts matter. And if we come together as a humans and start doing the right thing and helping each other, believe me, we're going to be able to get rid of all the things that are happening at the moment. So let's start building each other instead of tearing each other down. And let's show that we can work together as a team. And let's show how important is the positive thinking, the positive actions, the love we carry inside, because this is the original state of a human being, and I cannot stress this enough, and I'm not getting tired to repeat this all over and over again. So thank you again, and I wish everybody amazing weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear your masks, do your part, and be positive no matter what. Work on yourself, build yourself, and if you don't understand somebody, leave them to be who they want to be. Don't try to pull them down, don't try to change them, don't do anything you don't want to be done to you. So I love you, love and light to everybody. Thank you so much, and again, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.